The best DSLR cameras still have a lot to offer, even if very few new models are being released these days. It's true that best mirrorless cameras are now more popular, and that plenty of manufacturers, including Canon and Nikon, have seemingly stopped making digital single-lens reflexive cameras. But they remain the preferred choice for many photographers, both professional and amateur, and there are good reasons why. For starters, the best DSLR cameras are often popular with beginners due to their optical viewfinders, excellent battery life, and robust build. Professionals, meanwhile, may swear by a format that's been tried and tested for more than 20 years, and that has the widest range of lenses available, from ultra-wide to macro to telephoto. We have listed the top 5 DSLR cameras and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all the products mentioned in the video are in the description below. You could also find a more detailed analysis and a comparison tool on our website, guidinggear.com. Number 5. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Like the D6, the new EOS Rebel T7 is one of the smaller DSLRs on the market. It weighs 1.75 pounds and measures 5.1 by 3.9 by 3.1 inches. The grip is wrapped in textured rubber for a solid and comfortable handhold. The T7's body is otherwise mostly plastic, but the modelless build quality is not surprising given the camera's price. Although the on-off switch and 4-way controller keys are stiff, buttons and dials are well marked. External controls provide one-touch access to the most important shooting parameters, such as ISO, white balance, focus, and drive modes. In combination with the quick menu, you'll rarely have to go into full menu system. But if you do, you'll find that the internal menu is logically arranged in color-coded categories for shooting, playback, and setup. There's also a My Menu option for saving and accessing a group of up to 6 of your most used settings. The camera's pop-up flash covers a distance of up to 30 feet, but it's most effective if your subject is within 15 feet. If you need more light, you may want to pick an external flash. Flash exposure compensation is available for the in-camera and accessory flashes and comes in handy if you need to adjust the exposure. Both the optical viewfinder and the 3-inch LCD are relatively bright and clear, though the display is fixed and lacks a touchscreen. If they're important to you, check out the $800 Canon EOS Rebel T7i kit, which has both features and an 18 to 55mm lens. Canon EOS Rebel series has been long a favorite of those who want an affordable but capable DSLR. The T7 continues to deliver good image quality for a camera in its class. Under well-lit conditions, the camera consistently produces pleasing results, almost guaranteeing success straight out of the box. Number 4. Canon EOS 60 Mark II. The Canon EOS 60 Mark II has been out for a while now, and while its specifications are hardly cutting edge, this is still a powerful and versatile DSLR for photographers taking their first steps in full-frame photography. Most important of all, we think it's versatile, extremely well designed, and straightforward to use. The 26-megapixel sensor is good rather than great, but it does have Canon's dual-pixel CMOS AF system, so the live view autofocus is very fast and effective. The 45-point viewfinder AF system is pretty good too, although the focus points are all clustered toward the center of the screen. The EOS 60 Mark II can capture images at 6.5 fps in burst mode and has an extremely useful vari-angle touchscreen display. It has been upstaged somewhat by the newer Canon EOS RP and Canon's other mirrorless models, but it's a solid buy that's cheaper than the Nikon D780. Number 3. Canon EOS 90D. One of the best DSLR cameras that we've tested with a crop sensor is the Canon EOS 90D. This camera's 32.5 megapixel APS-C sensor helps deliver very good JPEG image quality out of the box, with an expansive dynamic range at low ISO and impressive noise handling capability at higher ISO levels. Its autofocus system is also very effective when tracking moving objects. It doesn't have in-body stabilization, but its digital stabilization function does a great job of helping smooth out camera shake when shooting without a tripod. If you feel like shooting video, it can record uncropped 4K video at up to 30 fps or FHD at a maximum frame rate of 60 fps. Like most Canon DSLRs, this camera has a very intuitive menu system and control layout, making it easy to use for experienced and novice users alike. Its top-light display allows you to quickly check your chosen exposure settings and remaining battery life. Its body is advertised as being weather-sealed, enabling you to shoot in fairly tricky weather conditions. The touchscreen interface is also fully articulated, which is helpful when trying to compress shots from unconventional angles. That said, while its LPE6N battery pack offers sufficient charge for most of a day's use, you can't charge it through its USB port while the camera is in use, unlike some other mirrorless alternatives. While it's smaller and lighter than most of the other full-frame DSLRs like the Canon EOS 5D Mark IV, some users may still find it a little fatiguing to carry around for extended periods, especially when using bulkier or heavier lenses. Still, its comfortable ergonomics and accurate responsive autofocus system make it a great option if you're looking for a DSLR. And it's also one of the best cameras for wildlife photography that we've tested. Number 2. Nikon D850. While the Nikon D850 is already old, this full-frame DSLR remains a capable tool for professional photographers. It boasts of a 46-megapixel backside illuminated CMOS sensor, 7 FPS continuous shooting mode with AE, AF, and AF system with 153 points, a 3.2-inch tilting touchscreen, illuminated controls, and advanced time-lapse feature. For video shooting, it has full-width UHD 4K capture at up to 30 FPS, 1080p video at up to 120 FPS, and in-camera 4K time-lapse video creation. Supporting a slimmer form, better grip, and supposedly improved weather sealing, this model promises better handling and durability in various conditions. Pro photographers will also need to be nimble in dealing with different light conditions, and this model is ready for that. The backside illuminated sensor provides improved low light performance and image quality near the edges. As with the D810, the D850 also has ISO 64 mode for better photos in bright conditions and a wider dynamic range. Add to all these the full AF capabilities of the D5, Nikon's flagship supports DSLR, and you have a very capable camera for a wide range of professional applications. The $500 price slash in 2020 also made the D850 an even more affordable option for anyone looking into getting a full-frame professional DSLR. Now, some of you may say that the Canon 5D Mark IV fits the bill better. However, the company's last 5 series DSLR was actually an overall disappointment, with poor video specification and underwhelming dynamic range. While it's fine for a Canon shooter to theoretically upgrade over a Mark III, it would actually be smarter to move to Canon's mirrorless offerings than to spend money on a DSLR that was already behind the time when it launched. Number 1. Canon EOS 5D Mark IV. Canon's EOS 5D Mark IV is the long-awaited fourth model in the enormously popular series of full-frame DSLRs. Coming over 4 years after the previous EOS 5D Mark III, the Mark IV boasts the resolution to 30.4 megapixels with a new full-frame sensor that supports dual-pixel CMOS AF for confident refocusing during live view and movies. It accelerates continuous shooting from 6 to 7 FPS, inherits the 61-point AF system and 3.2-inch screen of the EOS 1DX Mark II, and can film 4K movies up to 30 FPS along with 1080p resolution at 60 FPS and 720p at 120 FPS. The body shares essentially the same control layout as before, so will be immediately familiar to owners of the Mark III, but now features improved weatherproofing along with a built-in GPS and Wi-Fi with NFC. It represents a significant step up from the Mark III, but high-end videographers will be frustrated by the tight crop and high bitrate when filming 4K. The lack of log profiles, peaking, zebras, and 4K on the HDMI output. Indeed, if you're only into shooting 4K video, we'd recommend Sony's a7's Mark II for full frame or the a6300 for APS-C. But Canon is keen to retort the Mark IV is more about the stills, and it does these very well. It's undoubtedly a powerful all-rounder and just no longer the no-brainer the Mark III was for video. Let us know in the comments which model works for you the best and why. Thank you for watching the video, and that is all for this one. If you find this video helpful in any way, give a huge thumbs up, stay tuned for the upcoming videos by subscribing to our channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.